Hi guys, we are going today. Welcome to Ireland.
We'll sort it. See it, say it, sort.
Story starts over there, where you can see a farmer and his team planting our young cocoa trees. Hello there! Once each pod has been plucked, it is cut open, so that all of the beans and sticky pulp can be scooped out to be fermented in a heap and then dried in the hot sun until they've turned a rich brown colour. Once the beans are dried, they are tested for their quality before being loaded onto a cargo ship to be transported to England. They are then taken to our factory in 𝒘𝒘𝒃𝒔 for processing. Now, first the beans must be sorted and physically cleaned to remove any stones, dust and string that have come across with the beans from Africa. This is done using a stream of air and by passing the beans over vibrating sieves. The raw cocoa beans are now pasteurized using very hot steam. The clean cocoa beans are now taken to be roasted in revolving tubular gas-fired ovens. The beans are then cooled and are ready to have their shells removed through a process called winnowing. This is done by passing the broken beans over a series of vibrating trays and hitting them with breaker irons. The shell is then blown away and the remaining pieces of bean are called nibs. The nibs are now ground up in large mills. This process generates heat which helps to transform the nibs into a thick chocolate-coloured liquid called cocoa liquor or mass. Some cocoa liquor is taken to our factory at Marlborough for further processing, and the rest of the liquor is pressed to extract the cocoa butter. The refined cocoa butter is now taken to Bourneville, where we will catch up with it later. Meanwhile, the cocoa liquor that has been taken to Marlborough is pumped into storage tanks, ready to be turned into chocolate crumb. Over 150 tons of sugar and 500,000 litres of fresh full cream milk are delivered to Marlborough every day to be used in this process. But first, the milk must be pasteurised and then evaporated to remove most of the water before sugar can be added to produce a sweetened condensed milk. The liquid milk and sugar solution is now heated again before the cocoa liquor from 𝒘𝒃𝒃𝒔 is added and thoroughly mixed to create a thick paste. The paste is then squeezed between steam-heated rollers under a huge vacuum, causing the paste to turn into a powder. The resulting crumb is scraped from the rollers, dried in a flow of hot air and blown into storage silos. The crumb is now taken to Bourneville in tankers, where it is ground and mixed into a paste with this, the cocoa butter, which came from 𝒘𝒃 earlier. The paste is then refined into a flake before being conched or mixed to form a liquid chocolate. This liquid chocolate is used to make all our famous milk chocolate.
To trade tea and coffee. I also sold cocoa nibs I prepared myself, chocolate and coffee beans. These drinks were considered as wholesome alternatives to alcohol, which we as Quakers strongly disapproved. In my spare time, I experimented with preparations of cocoa beans and chocolate, which I could sell in the shop. Soon I had to rent a warehouse in nearby Crooked Lane, where I could manufacture these products on a larger scale. At first, it was very difficult, because I had to pay high taxes on the cocoa beans. And then, on top of all that, I had to move out of Crooked Lane and into another factory, here, in Bridge Street. That's when my brother Benjamin joined me, and together we formed Cadbury Brothers. With more space, we could now prepare a cocoa powder and an eating chocolate that could be packed and sold. Soon after, my eldest son, Richard, joined the company. Having Richard with us made all the difference. He saw to it that the quality of our cocoa improved, introduced new products, and even opened a shop in London. Our efforts were rewarded when we received our first royal warrant from Queen Victoria. That was when my younger son, George, joined us.
George introduced many benefits for the workforce, such as half-day holidays, a sick club, and many improvements in the factory.
And Richard, your new designs for our packaging were a huge success.
Well, we had to try something different, just to get ourselves recognised, Father, as we were still a small company. Our aim was to manufacture only the highest quality cocoa and chocolate.
I know, and I could tell you some stories of less scrupulous producers who added brick dust to that cocoa.
Ours was still gritty, but we only added sugar to take away the bitter taste and starch to absorb the fat. However, George had heard of a new kind of cocoa press. He went to Holland in 1866, saw the press being used and brought one back.
The Van Houten press.
Oh yes, Father. You see, because we could extract more of the cocoa butter, there was no need for more additives. Not only was our cocoa essence more palatable, but also output increased.
The Bridge Street factory was now too small to cope, and we had to expand somewhere else.
For some time, George and I had shared the same vision to build our new factory in a garden setting, away from the smoke and grime of the city. We called our new factory Bourneville. We opened our new factory in 1879, and were faced with many more challenges as the size of our workforce increased. As the company prospered, we introduced bonuses, such as payment for output and punctuality, a 5.5-day week, pension schemes, works committees, training, and many other benefits.
I sent my son George to Switzerland to find out how chocolate was made, using fresh milk.
Soon after, Cadbury were able to manufacture chocolate with a much higher milk content that rivaled even the best Swiss products.
That was when we launched our most important new brand. We called it Cadbury's Dairy Milk. It became so popular with its distinctive taste that sales exceeded all our best expectations. And within a short while, it had become our best-selling chocolate. In 1919, we merged with Fry, and the company went from strength to strength.
And so we have seen that big things have their roots in the smallest beginnings.
Okay guys, jiggle those eyebrows like you've never jiggled them before.
There's just a deep breathing exercise.
Now this is one of my favorite tunes.
No.
that sums up our Cadbury World Tour. Bye! Bye, Ray!
Bye!